I have a problem. It's going to be funny when I say it, but I live in my mind a lot. And when I see issues that people have, I probably in my mind have already solved them. But the issues that I haven't solved is the issue of the human emotion, the issue of mental roadblocks, the issue of people not being able to understand stuff that to me seems to be simplistic. I break down almost everything into really one category. I won't say two categories, but it's really, well, you can say it's two, but it's really basic one thing: survival and eternity. Yes, that's procreation and survival. That's pretty much the basis of everything that people do. People want to survive and they want to live as long as possible. And the way that you live, even though you may not live in this form, is through reproduction, your DNA, whatever term you want to use, giving some of your seed or your spirit or your energy to the next thing. So when I hear evaluations when it comes to social class or people say race or right and wrong, it all to me breaks down to survival and procreation. People want to win in the game of life, win in the game of eternity, as far as um, being able to know that somehow, some way, some part of your consciousness will be. And now we can look at it from different perspectives. We can kind of go spiritual, we can go esoteric, we can go Gnostic, and I'm not going to go deep into it, but it's the way that you shape your mental that either enhances your happiness or stifles it. So because of all this, I'm saying a lot. Wow, I didn't even think I would, but I think that's what's wrong with people. And like, I love to try to understand other people, just because I find it to be interesting. Because the happiness that we should have, we stop when it could be so simple. Um, but due to so many attachments or the belief systems that have been programmed into people, the way that you think the world should be, it stops you from being happy, which is always like amazing to me, is that people can't actually step outside themselves to evaluate themselves. Like I know there's something chemical in me that makes me much more happy than someone else, but just understanding that I could be mad or happy because I choose to changes the way I see the world. Um, how what you may think is wrong could be right to somebody else, and understanding just being able to evaluate what I've seen and observed and studied, that this person may have a different opinion than you, helps me see the world differently. And it all boils down to um, survival and procreation. So when people say something's going to go wrong, or they have fear, or they feel good, it's about survival and procreation. If you feel safe, you feel good. If you feel unsafe, you probably won't feel good. Now, some people can take it as a challenge. Some people will not. It is what it is. But in understanding the basics, the one category overall, which is eternity, it lets you know that the way that you view the world sometimes is irrelevant. It's irrelevant to you, but in the big scheme of things, is it really relevant? Because everybody is trying to be eternal. You're trying to be that one piece of the universe. You're trying to be it, and whatever you can spew to give you that advantage in this material world is what most people will go after. So some people are going to go out there enhancing their financial situation. Some people are going to go out there enhancing uh, their physical situation. Some people are going to go out there security, protection, and dominance, whatever the term you want to use for it. But it all goes down to procreation and survival. So I find so much stuff funny because you have to say it in a certain way for people to understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to say things um, with analogies to get you to see the picture, because for me it's so simple that in the way that I'm saying it, I've overexpressed it. So I love when people say I get it, but most people say, what the hell is he talking about? And that goes down to my conundrum. Sorry, this is going to be offensive a little bit, but it's not to offend you, but it's the truth. Um, some people's consciousness are not on the same level as I am, and maybe I'm beneath or above other people. We're just not on the same level. And truthfully, some people are stupid. I'm sorry, some of you are really idiotic, and you can't connect the dots. No matter what puzzle is put in front of you, you can't make the parts come together. It is what it is, and I feel sad for saying it, but it is what it is. I need to talk more basically, but for me to talk basic to certain people is like I feel like I'm wasting my talent. I feel like It's like when you know you can do more, but you're doing less to make everybody feel equal. Damn it, we are not all equal. Life is not fair, and everybody can't win in the game. But I want us all to win. But I accept that there's going to be losers depending on how they perceive things. It's somebody who made it to the NBA and they are winning, but they lost to Kobe. Kobe's a better player, but damn, you won compared to everybody else. So it's all subjective. If somebody's going to live longer than you, they win in the game of life. Somebody's going to make more money than you, they win in that department. But if somebody else is happy doing what they do and they winning too, don't you understand? Listen, we don't all want the same things, and people get confused by that. But I say most people want to procreate and survive, and some people don't want to exist into reality, and they end their own existence however they can, or they dumb it down, or they numb it out, or they do something. This is all subjective in a way. Objective would mean it's the same for everybody, because it's not the same for everybody. It's subjective or relative, So we the Albert Einstein is about to come, at least this part. Relativity, the way that you perceive it is truth for you, is your real. But for somebody else from a different perspective, they're going to see it differently, which is, according to science, true. So time can be different depending on the observer and point of reference. But saying this basic stuff to me, which is basic, may be over somebody else's head. It is what it is. Understand, if you look down to humanity, people want to control their environment or control other people, which is power, dominance, right? But why? Why do they want that? Because they want to survive and win and procreate. That's all it is. And that's why you have so many people that are adverse to the situations that are happening now, because they have no chance to, in the physical, be eternal. They want to, or be eternal in the way they want to be, or to give advantages to whatever offspring they procreate, if they can have it. So it's kind of funny what I'm saying. And I think, I think this might just be, I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna let this be public for a while, but I may just move it to Patreon, because sometimes I think I'm saying stuff that's just too far over your head for people to grasp the basic message that I'm putting out. It's all one thing. You want to procreate and survive, which is to be eternal. However, a lot of people don't know how to do it, and because they don't know how to do it, and they think they follow these rules that they read in a book, or that someone else is telling them, instead of understanding life is not fair. Everybody can't be born 7 foot tall. Everybody's not going to be 350 pounds. Everybody's not going to have a brain that operates like my brain. Everybody can't sing. Everybody can't see. Somebody will be born with no legs or no limbs, but they're still in the game. Because as long as you're alive, you're in the game of eternity. Now, if you can transcend the physical and somehow get your mental to a different plane where you can be eternal mentally, which you can be if you really perceive it, then this game will become irrelevant. However, most people are caught up in their terrestrial form, and what they exist in. Like, look, listen to me. I'm speaking all some stuff. The energy of the universe told me to put this out, so I'm going to put it out. Listen, life is great. Experience is great. It's the opportunity to experience. It can be good or bad, but it's for you to know. It's for you to gain wisdom and knowledge, to be able to appreciate your spirit and appreciate the moment that you're in, because the moment is. You can last and stay in it, or you can move beyond it. That's your choice. That's how some people can still live in childhood trauma or something that happened 2 years ago and can't get over it because they're still stuck in that moment mentally. You have to learn to control your mind, and that's the advice that I want to give. Your consciousness is your greatest weapon. I would love to say it's your mind, but it's really your consciousness. The ability to know that you exist is it. And to understand that there's other streams of consciousness, to appreciate that just like you feel, someone else feels. And if you can understand that, it changes your perception of reality. I know it's quite difficult, what I'm saying. And I know that, I'm going to listen to this and make sure that it makes sense to me. Most people don't understand the game is eternity. Now, it's good to because you probably can't read people well. Maybe I can't read people well, but I understand the whole basic premise. So if I can understand the basic premise, I can get down with any game, because the rules are all the same. People want to win. They want to be safe. They want to be hurt. They want to procreate, and they want things to be easy for them as much as possible, following whatever rules they set in their own consciousness, and that's what it is. And most people can't really relate to other people. Sometimes I have trouble. Well, really, I do. I can relate totally, but I choose not to, because I think I want to wake people up sometimes. So I just try not to connect, but I already understand your motive, what you're trying to accomplish, how you're trying to make it easy for you. I may not know your own, I may not know all your rules, but it's all the basic things. You want to win, you want to be eternal as possible, and you want to practice procreation, even if it's scrambled. And that's what it is. So I'm done with this. I can keep going for a long time trying to break it all down, but somebody's going to peel the layers of this onion and they're going to get what I'm saying. This is over my own head, but hey, life is great. I will talk to you all later. Feel fantastic. Smile, love, grab by the butt. Hey.